Testing for YouTube. Testing. 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 I just heard it on my phone. Oh. Okay. Because right as I opened it up, it said test.
Hello?
morning. Welcome to the June 26th Sunday service of the Unitarian Universalist Church of St. Petersburg. My name is Bill Motter. I'm a member of this church, a member of the Board of Trustees, and I am also on the worship committee. Our Reverend Ben Atherton Zima is in Portland, Oregon, attending the UUA General Assembly. On the Sundays when he's not here, the worship committee is responsible for bringing you the service. I want to say happy Pride to all of you here in the sanctuary and watching on YouTube. Joining me as worship associate today is Beth Stombaugh. She's been newly elected to the Board of Trustees, and we are fortunate to have her as an active and devoted participant in our congregation.
Thanks, Bill. In Unitarian Universalism, you can bring your whole self, your full identity, your questioning mind, your expansive heart. Together, we create a force more powerful than one person or one belief system. We strive to be united in our broad and inclusive outlook and in our values as expressed in our 7 principles. We are united in our work for social justice, our quest to include the marginalized, our expressions of love. If you'd like a church that supports these ideas, then I have good news. You may have found your church home. Because whoever you are, wherever you are in your journey, you are welcome here. We've recently renewed a practice that we did pre-COVID. So if you are new, and if you'd like, please stand and introduce yourself. You are under no obligation to say anything, but if you're willing, we'd love to hear from you. I'll repeat what you say so that people online can hear. Do we have any newcomers? Ah, okay.
Welcome, Adrian.
Welcome. Go ahead. Newcomers just introducing themselves. Thank you. Oh, great. Sarah moved here a year ago. Okay, and Karen, she moved here 2 years ago. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Okay, great. Ted, he moved here about a year ago. Thank you. Welcome to all of you. Okay. Oops. Now, let's take a moment to greet our neighbor. This can be a wave of the hand, a nod of the head, or more, but recognize that everyone's level of comfort around COVID is different. So please ask for consent if you're going to rub elbows, shake hands, or give a hug. And you can please greet your neighbor.
Thank you, Beth. We have 2 announcements today. If you missed the in-person talkback regarding the results of the transitions team Goldilocks interviews, you have another opportunity today during the Zoom coffee hour. Next Sunday, July 3rd, we'll be celebrating Independence Day with a little different Sunday morning gathering. Please come straight to Gilmore Hall, our fellowship area, at 10:30, not the sanctuary. You'll be greeted with coffee and pastries to enjoy while socializing until the service begins at 10:45 with special music and an all-generation service celebrating the blessing of freedom. No RE that Sunday, but kid-friendly music and activities will be provided during the service. Then our regular 11:30 coffee hour becomes a pre-4th of July hot dog party with all the fixings. The worship team and hospitality folks will provide hot dogs, chips, and so forth. Feel free to add your own special potato salad if you like. Come join in for a fun and inspiring time together. Today's worship service celebrates the blessings of allies. Sue Lorimer is providing music along with help from Rebecca Wilson and a few others. John Motter is live streaming. Our greeters today are Linda Paul, Karen White, Jeff Bambro, and Kelly Patton. Our RE volunteer is Sabina, with Trish Harding supporting her. Now, let us take a moment to center ourselves for worship.
Our flaming chalice is a symbol of Unitarian Universalism. It is a symbol of hope, the sacred, the quest for truth, the warmth of community, the light of reason, and so much more. So when Joanne lights our chalice today, I invite you to say our covenant out loud. The words can be found in the text chat. If you like, you may choose to follow along with the hand movements. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. And now Rebecca will lead us in hymn 1008 in the Teal hymnal, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place.
When our heart is in a
It's now time for all ages, so if there are any children that would like to come forward, I encourage you to come up and join me. So I guess I'm going to talk to all the children in the congregation today. You were all once oh, here we go. I knew you'd help me out. So it's been a long time since I've told a children's stories. My nieces and nephews are all grown up, so you can help me today. We're talking about allies today. So do you have a best friend? Yeah, both of you have a best friend. A best friend is a really good example of an ally. Our family members are good examples too. An ally is somebody who cares about you and considers your feelings and wants the best for you. So let's think about who might be an ally that isn't your good friend or someone in your family. Do you know what a three-legged race is? Have you ever done a three-legged race? So here's a picture. You may have done it at a picnic or at school. Does that look familiar? Where you tie one of your legs? No. Nope, you've never done that. Well, I encourage you to try it. Never? You did, okay, so you know you tie your leg together, so each person has one free leg, and the middle leg is like the third leg, tied together, and you run your race, right? Yeah. So what would happen? I think people did that in movies. In movies, you've seen it, okay. What do you think would happen if I'm an adult with real long legs, and you're a child with shorter legs? How would we do a three-legged race? Would that be hard?
Yes.
Pretty hard? Yeah. What about if I had to do a three-legged race with Beth? Beth is over there in a wheelchair. Would that be hard? So we'd have to get creative, right? We would have to become allies and figure out how we're going to make this race successful. Because you want to run, right? You want to participate? I do too. I want to run my best race with you. And with Beth, I want to do it with her so she can have fun too. So maybe we have to think about how we might do that three-legged race together and become allies so that we can all successfully participate in the race. That make sense? Okay, so I'm going to send you on your way now. So let's sing you on your way to your classroom with your super ally, Miss Trish.
Today, we will begin with our joys, sorrows, and concerns. Those on YouTube Live, please type your joys and sorrows into the text chat. Those here in the sanctuary, please pass your cards forward if you have joys, sorrows, or concerns to share. Right now, Jill will place a stone in the water for any joys and concerns that people have. So right now we just have one from Susan Gore. This is a joy for St. Pete's Pride celebration today and Central Avenue till 5 p.m.
And I have a joy for Mary Roddy and Bill Shilkett. I think I've got that. Being induced tomorrow with first baby girl.
And now I have another sorrow from Susan Gore. Sorrow at the Supreme Court's overturning of Roe versus Wade. And also a concern about the collateral damage from that decision.
And we'll place a final stone.
Wait, I'm sorry. I have one more. I thought you had one. This is a hope that in acting our UU values will all bring the pendulum to a more affirming place.
And now I'll ask Jill to place the final stone for those joys and concerns that remain in our hearts, perhaps too tender to be spoken out loud. Let us take a moment of silence together. The mystery is that we are connected, even when we feel apart. Let us rejoice in our beloved community that makes of the many one. So may it be.
Spirit of love, come unto me. Sing in my heart, O stars. Rise in the sea, move in the
Thank you. This poem I'm going to read is by an unknown author. It's titled Being an Ally. You and I, we meet as strangers, each carrying a mystery with us. I cannot say who you are. I may never know you completely, but I trust that you are a person in your own right, possessed of a beauty and value that are the earth's richest treasures. So I make this promise to you. I will impose no identities upon you, but will invite you to become yourself, without shame or fear. I will hold open a space for you in the world and support your right to fill it with authentic vocation and purpose. For as long as your search takes, you have my loyalty. And also, I know I'm really supposed to only do one reading, but in light of Friday's Supreme Court decision to reverse Roe versus Wade, I really felt compelled to also address this issue today. And the day that this decision was handed out, Lynn Unger wrote this poem and posted it, and I wanted to read it today and talk a tiny bit about it. It says, today you are not wrong to be furious. You are not wrong to be scared. You are not wrong to wonder what we do today and tomorrow and tomorrow. You are not wrong to notice the brilliance of the sky. You are not wrong to think of your daughter. You are not wrong to imagine people you will never know. You are not wrong to think, this doesn't really affect me, and to really know it does. You are not wrong to look for pictures of puppies or kittens or flowers or trees. You are not wrong to try to massage the ache out of your own heart. You are not wrong to yell or cry or scream or hide under the covers in your own bed. You are not wrong to turn to your neighbor and say, "What do we do now?" So like Lynn Unger wrote, what do we do now? How can men become allies for women who no longer have control over their own bodies? How can people with the means to travel be allies to women that are seeking an abortion but live at or near the poverty level and don't have the transportation or money to travel to a state that can provide this health care? Also, how can I or other straight people be allies to our LGBTQ friends and acquaintances that are probably frightened and very angry that their hard-won marriage equality may be the next to be overturned? These are questions to ponder. Many of us could and should be allies right now, and many of us are also just really wanting allies of our own during this difficult time and unfair time in our country.
Thank you, Beth. This week's View from the Pew is from Ruth Bentley.
Good morning. I'm Ruth Bentley, mother of 4 sons, 2 you know, John and Bill, and I have another son in North Carolina and one in Portland, Oregon. I'm going to introduce myself again. I've been watching the General Assembly virtually being held in Portland, and I'm going to join in after I get home to the last session this afternoon. I hope some of you have been watching it. It's interesting. What I found fascinating was the way they introduced themselves. So if I were at the convention, would have introduced myself as, I am Ruth Marilyn Bentley. I am a white, black-haired, and it's my own color, big ears, female, heterosexual. And they go on and they say, I wear glasses, I have a blue top on, I have black pants, and you can't see my shoes, but they match my pants. I'm speaking to you today with the view from the pew about allies. I grew up in New London, a small town in Ohio. The Guthries, our next-door neighbors, owned and operated the Carolyn, a small movie theater. Back in those days, admission was 25 cents and 10 cents for popcorn. Needless to say, we went to a lot of movies. I can remember when I was 10 or 12 going to the movies with my friends. At that time, we had no TV and had to depend on our radios for the news. It would have been about 1944 or 45, close to the end of World War II. It was scary for me to watch. It was the first time I heard the word allies and saw French, Italian, and Belgian soldiers fighting along with ours. After the war was over, I seldom remember hearing the word used. Thinking back, I have had many allies in my life, and hopefully I have also been an ally to others. I had allies in school teachers who were there for me, especially when I struggled with mathematics, which was never my strength. In college, I had a wonderful ally counselor who guided me through my college and graduate school years. Another prof urged me to become the first female to join his all-male education fraternity. I could not have accomplished all this without the support of many allies. My husband, my parents, neighbors, babysitters, other teachers and staff. A little wobbly here. Also, my students. One of my Heidelberg College advisees, Jan Rader, lost both of her parents during her freshman year. Though she wanted to drop out, thankfully she stayed. After graduation, she became a teacher, married and had girls of her own. A joy of being her ally is that we still keep in touch. I'm skipping over many years filled with supportive allies and trying to be an ally to others. From the time we moved here and became members of UUSP, I have been filled with gratitude for finding new allies, even though I had not used the term. Smiles come to my face when I think about Sunday mornings when so many people pause by me with greetings, grins, hellos, or even elbow touches. Yes, these are my allies, and I am theirs. Some might not argue that children are not our allies. Maybe that isn't the case when they are young. I consider my 4 sons and 2 stepdaughters my dearest allies, as who have supported me as I have tried to them. I can't close without telling you about my closest, dearest ally. She is a little 10-pound Allie, A-L-I, ally dog, who sits against me with her head on my knee, looking up at me with trustful Chihuahua eyes. Hopefully, I am her ally too.
Thank you, Sue, and thank you, Ruth, Mom. So I didn't mask up because we live in the same household, in case you were wondering. Happy St. Peter's, wow, I'm going to get emotional. I knew it would happen. Happy St. Petersburg Pride Weekend. You may have heard about or even participated in the Pride Parade yesterday. We joined forces with members of the UU Clearwater congregation, and we're an awesome representation of UUSP. Thanks to my brother John Motter for organizing those efforts. Today, I'm going to give some of my thoughts on allies. From Webster's, a sovereign or state associated with another by treaty or league. No, not that one. This is better, also from Webster's. One that is associated with another as a helper. a person or group that provides assistance and support in an ongoing effort, activity, or struggle. My focus this morning will be on my experiences, but in the stories and examples I describe, you can substitute your own experiences with religion, race, gender, culture, ability, age, and especially women making difficult choices. The list goes on. If I shed tears, don't be alarmed. First, it's because I cry pretty easily when I get emotional. It's also because I feel loved and safe here with you. They are tears of joy that I have found this community, which allows me to tell my stories and truths without fear of judgment. PFLAG was one of the first organizations that made me consider what an ally is, back before the word ally came into our everyday vocabulary. PFLAG was founded back in 1973 when I was still in high school. The idea for PFLAG began in 1972 when Jeannie Manford marched alongside her son Morty in New York's Christopher Street Liberation Day March, the precursor to today's Pride Parade. After many gay and lesbian people ran up to Jeannie during the parade and begged her to talk to their parents, she decided to begin a support group. The first formal meeting took place on March 11, 1973, at what is now the Church of the Village in Greenwich. Approximately 20 people attended. The mission and vision of PFLAG is simple: to create a caring, just, and affirming world for LGBTQ plus people and those who love them. An equitable, inclusive world where every LGBTQ plus person is safe, celebrated, empowered, and loved. Allies. Sound familiar? First principle, the inherent worth and dignity of every person. Sixth principle, the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. I grew up in a smallish town in Northwest Ohio. I realized at an early age that I was different. I didn't really know what that meant. I just knew I was somehow different than my peers. I also believed it was something I shouldn't talk about. I had a happy childhood, but a constant narrative in my deepest thoughts that was that I was defective, imperfect. During my college freshman year, I remember going to the campus library on a research mission. I nervously looked through the card catalog, remember those? For the topic homosexuality, and I found a host of materials to read. At the time, most of that literature referred to homosexuality as deviant sexual behavior, an illness. I was afraid to check any of those reference materials out for fear of someone discovering me, so I did my reading amidst the stacks. An illness. I didn't have a PFLAG to tell me otherwise. To tell me I was imperfectly perfect. It took me another 4 years to come out, as we say. Unlike some of my peers, my parents, my brothers, stepsisters, relatives, and friends had little reaction other than to tell me, we love you, and all we want is for you to be happy. Allies. The first time I set foot in this church was nearly 5 years ago, after having given up on churches for most of my adult life. Not once, not in any single moment, have I ever felt like I did not belong here, like I was not loved, not appreciated, not welcomed. Allies. Not everyone is so lucky with their family, friends, and congregations. I belong to a Facebook group called Stand in Pride. Group members support anyone who needs a stand-in family. Moms, dads, brothers, sisters, aunties and uncles, grandmas and grandpas, because their biological families don't acknowledge them. Disowned, told you no longer exist to me. Imagine hearing those words from the people you thought loved you the most. I just read some posts the past few days that break my heart. Hi, just looking for love and support. My anniversary is coming up Saturday, June 25th. It'll be 8 years. It's not acknowledged by my family or hers, so I thought I would reach out to my Pride family. Hey, my name's Leo. I'm 22. I live in New Jersey, and I thought I'd reach out to anyone who is willing to take another kid who's struggling between life and death because of the ignorance and invalidation from family and friends, in need of allies. And then posts and responses like this that fill my heart to overflowing. One of the 44 and counting responses to Leo. Hi, Leo, older sister reporting for duty, smiley face. I live in Jersey City, New Jersey, and I am available to chat anytime you need. Wedding officiant. I am able to marry people in the state of Virginia, willing to travel up to 3 hours from the DC area if needed to perform your wedding for free. Like many, I am deeply worried on so many fronts about the decisions that came out today. Private message me if you are in need of an officiant. I'm a trans man, husband, father, uncle, brother, and U.S. Army veteran. My wife, 14-year-old kiddo, and I live about an hour and a half from Orlando. I'm happy to be a best man, a double date with my wife, a dad, or even a great dance partner. I look forward to all the wonderful ways I can help and support this group. Allies. How can you be a better ally? The following are some thoughts and ideas from a Harvard Business Review article. Although the article was targeted for the workplace audience, these are great tips for our everyday lives. Educate yourself. Do your homework. Don't generalize from the stories of one or two. Talk to many and be attuned to their unique experiences and intersectional identities. Own your privilege. Being an ally requires recognizing the advantages, opportunities, resources, and power you've automatically been accorded. This can be painful because it often means admitting that you haven't entirely earned your success, but it's necessary. It's also important to understand that privilege is a resource that can be deployed for good. Accept feedback. Deliberately seek feedback from marginalized groups. Establish trusting relationships with people from marginalized groups who will give you unvarnished feedback. And finally, see something, say something. This is the most taxing ally work. Monitor your interactions for discriminatory behavior, and then be clear and decisive in shutting them down. Don't wait for marginalized people to react. When you witness discrimination, don't approach the victim later to offer sympathy. Give them your support in the moment. I am capable of doing all of these and improving upon those I already engage in. I know all of you are too. This congregation is full of allies doing good works. I am your ally. I hope you are mine. Lean on me and I will lean on you.
Wow, thank you, Bill. Now let us remember our connection to one another, and let us not forget our contributions to support the means to those connections. If you are a newcomer here, please refrain from making a donation. This service is our gift to you, and your presence is your gift to us. The offering will now be given and received.
Lean on Me. So I love this song by Bill Withers. It's in the Teal Hymnal, number 1021. He died in March 2020, American songwriter. Oh, you want to stand? Sorry. It's good to stand if you can, and you're willing and able, and the Spirit moves you. So anyway, from the man who gave us Ain't No Sunshine and just the two of us, we're going to try. And anyway, how many pop songs do we have that speak to our covenant, to help one another? So anyway, let's see if we can sing this together. Lean on Me.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow. But if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. It won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride if I have things you need to borrow. For no one can fill those of your needs that you won't let show. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can carry, I'm right up the road. I'll share your load if you just call me. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Just call on brother when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lean on.
Thank you all for joining us this morning. I hope you heard something that challenges your thinking, that aids in your spiritual journey or eases your mind in these stressful times. Now feel free to follow along with the hand gestures as Joanne extinguishes our chalice. The words to UUSP's traditional chalice extinguishing are in your order of service and online in the text chat. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of love, or the fire of courage. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world. Please remain seated until the postlude has finished. Go in peace.